invocation, please, sir.
Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together tonight and conduct the city business. We appreciate all the guests that's come. Lord, we just ask you to watch over us and try to do what's right. In your name we pray, amen.
Jim, lead us in pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to thank our guests for being here. Amy, I thought you said we were having guests this evening from the leadership?
No, not tonight, sorry.
Oh,
I'm just here with Jackson.
okay. All right, thank you. Council has a copy of the agenda. I have an item that we've added, which will be D on your agenda, which was not on what was mailed to you. Cove Road annexation, information given to you by Lonnie Waters. And I think that's all we were going to add, right, Lisa?
That's all we know since I sent it out.
With that addition, would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, Council. The minutes of April 3rd, 2017, regular meeting, Lisa.
Regular council meeting Monday, April 3rd, 2017. Mayor Weaver called the meeting to order promptly at 6 p.m. He requested Jim Lonnie give the invocation. Councilmember Ansonovi led their recital of the Pledge of Allegiance. Mayor Weaver asked that the agenda be reviewed and approved by council. Councilmember Tony Fountain made a motion to approve the agenda. Councilmember Ansonovi seconded the motion. Motion carried unanimously. Mayor Weaver stated that Councilmember Sonny Proctor was absent and Councilmember John Faust would be arriving late. City Clerk Lisa Hoyle read the minutes of the March 6, 2017 regular meeting. Councilmember Ansonovi made a motion to adopt the minutes as read. Councilmember Jim Loney seconded the motion. Motion carried unanimously. Ms. Hoyle read the minutes of the March 16, 2017 called meeting. Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to adopt the minutes as read. Councilmember Ansonovi seconded the motion. Motion passed unanimously. Item A under old business, Mayor Weaver recognized David Buchanan to present to council proposed vehicle and equipment purchases. Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to approve the list of equipment purchases. Councilmember Ansonovi seconded the motion. Motion passed unanimously. Item A under new business, Mayor Weaver recognized Police Chief Greg Lovell to present to council the need for the purchase of 2 laser speed detection devices. Chief Lovell stated that the lasers would cost $3,099.99 each, and they would be paid for out of the technology surcharge fund. Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to purchase the 2 laser devices using the technology surcharge fund. Councilmember Ansonovi seconded the motion. Motion carried by unanimous vote. Item B under old business, Mayor Weaver recognized Water and Sewer Superintendent David Hall. Mr. Hall stated that there is a need for an automatic switch for the generator located at Indian Forest Pump Station. The quote from Caldwell Electrical Contractors, the same contractor that the city contracted to install the emergency generators, is $4,450. Mayor Weaver entertained a motion. Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to accept the proposal from Caldwell to install the automatic switch at $4,450. Councilmember John Faust seconded the motion. Motion carried unanimously. Economic Developer Gerry Nechvatal gave a report to the city. Finance Director Lisa Hoyle gave the financial report for the month of March 2017. Chief Greg Lovell gave a report of police activities for the month of March 2017. Assistant Chief Von Hedrick gave a report of fire activities for the month of March 2017. Councilmember John Faust gave an update on JYSA activities. Being no other business to come before council, Councilmember Jim Loney made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Council is scheduled to convene next at the called council meeting to be held May 1st. That should be regular council meeting to be held May 1st, 2017.
Entertain a motion.
Move we accept the minutes as read with the one correction.
So a motion to approve with one correction. Need a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
I can't say that one here, so.
Been off, you're right. Got a second here, be Ann. Second is Lonnie Waters. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you. And you can approve it, though.
That's not so bad. I made a motion when I was chairing the meeting.
I know that.
And then I swore I didn't do it.
I know that too.
You ever get caught? Yeah. Then we
Caught
might look at
yourself.
this.
It's the
Look at
vote
the
that
date.
really counts, despite all that formality, the votes what really counts.
Okay, old business, we have none. Except I could update you here as Mr. Hall came to the workshop and the work that you approved last month was 99%. I think he had a little touch up to do, but the hookup for the generator had been completed and was proud to hear that. New business, fishing rodeo at Cove. I have with us tonight Mr. Walt Cagle and Johnny Hyatt. The gentleman may address the council. If you may come forward. I'd bring Johnny with me, Walt. I wouldn't come up here by myself.
Well, I can stand behind you.
You can stand behind me.
I've had a few little help.
We've even got a seat out there for
Yeah,
you.
you have a seat, Jim, if you'd like to.
No, I'm fine. First of all, I'd like to thank you for recognizing us tonight. And I'm here to ask for the proclamation like I did last year for the creek from May the 17th to May the 20th.
Do you have the proclamation with you? Do you have a proclamation?
No, and, well, last year we done it just on the
Just
vote.
do it a vote, okay?
Right,
By the
and we
council.
just need the approval from the city so we could, after the DNR puts their 3,500 to 4,000 trout in the stream, that they can close the stream to the public so we can control the stream to all events.
Give us those dates again, Walt, please.
Okay, we'll set the creek up on Wednesday, May the 17th. The 18th is a special needs kids in the school system and the private system. May the 18th, last year we had 12 nursing homes. We got the same amount this year. And then, of course, on the 20th will be Kids Day.
Okay. So 17th through the 20th would be dedicated to the Sportsman Association for the fishing rodeo at Cove Creek.
Correct.
Would entertain a motion, council.
Go ahead.
No. I make a motion that we approve the Sportsman Club to use the Cove Creek area for fishing rodeo May 17 through May 20.
Yes. Need a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, council. And you want to tell us a little bit about what goes on besides what you just told us, Johnny? You want to give the floor? 'Cause I know you came to tell us a little.
And I have some literature I'll leave with you.
Okay.
Bring that this year.
And this, you get to go out on the internet and a few other services.
So it will be, let's see, last year we had close to 500 kids on Saturday. And then the parents and older children, older people that came in with them. I don't know just how many we had, but we fed them all hot dogs and Coca-Cola and Gatorade and everything else. And I don't think there's any of them left hungry.
How many years is this now, John?
We started it up there on Penley Creek in 1996. And that was 2 years before I moved back to Georgia. And so now we've been here since let's see, what year was it? It was, I'll have to think.
I was
I
trying to
think it's
of that.
02, I believe. 02 we started down here. And about 3 or 4 years up at Penley, so it would have been and then about 2000.
And I believe you're going to be delighted that the work that the city did last year and the way the grass has come in and the amount of work we've done around the creek might make it a little more convenient for you this year than it has been in the past.
Yeah, it's looking shaping up really, really well.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I sure appreciate you coming this evening, and any way we can help you, let us know. We'll come down before that date and do a little bit of mowing for you. All right.
I'm sorry, I don't have copies for each member,
That's fine,
okay.
Judge.
Don't worry.
but if you could post that, that's our flyer that we're
Okay.
going around town. And that's kind of what Johnny was talking about, and then that's the schedule for this
Okay.
year.
Does the progress have a copy of that schedule? And give one to the internet, if you will.
All right,
Those people right through with the 2 cameras, and I'll keep one for us.
all right.
Thank you, sir. And
Keep
good luck.
one in your file so you can look back at it every once in a while.
We'll do that.
Figure out where you are anyway.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you. And the members of the council, we appreciate it.
Get out of here.
I'll give that with you later.
Okay, item B, paving project bids. Mr. Waters? We got B and C, so you probably sit in the same location.
Mayor and council, on the 18th, we opened the bids for the resurfacing of 17 streets. The bids came in, they're as follows: Bartow Paving,
You're going to need to get the council to approve that, so I'd put this for them as to get the lowest bid.
we are asking for this to be approved, and as I read off these bid packages, Bartow Paving, $497,655.60. Block Construction, $493,416.26. Caldwell Construction, $693,500. C.W. Matthews, $569,988.55. Johnson Paving, $471,580. Northwest Georgia, $505,977.60. I have went through each bid package, and all the paperwork seems to be in order. Everything seems to be just like it should be according to the contract. And we're needing you to, the apparent low bid is Johnson at $471,580. But we need this voted on and approved so we can send them a letter to proceed.
Okay. And Council, Johnson Paving has done 2 large projects already in our SPLOST and have done superior work. So apparently they are the low bid,
Yes.
and would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the low bid from Johnson Paving LLC for paving 17 streets for $471,580.
Have a motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, council. That's unanimous. Okay, Lonnie? GPS mapping, item C.
Okay, we have been discussing for several months about coming up with a program to locate our utilities, to document it to where it's more precise than what it has been. And we have met with, the mayor and I have met with a company called Tri-State, and also a company, they're in Pell City, Alabama, and a company in Wilmington, North Carolina. They have combined, and they have presented us with a program that we feel like is a very good product as far as it's going to locate or we will be able to put our utilities on there. It will be within, I think it says in here, between 2 and 4 feet. It will be that close. That's their prediction once that they complete the program. We will also show zoning. That's something that Mr. Underwood uses quite often. So it will benefit him. We can put layover sheets over it. We can put our water meters wherever they're located. We can put fire hydrants. It does multiple things. And the bid package that the proposed price and everything as they gave us, it comes in 3 stages. One is taking what information the city has and what I have put together, and it totals 592 water maps and 21 sewer maps up to date, which we can add to it regularly. And that digitizing all of that information comes to $9,400. Stage 2 of the process will be the field verification of hydrants, manholes. This will improve what I have to its accuracy. They will send a couple crews over here and they will work with us and go out in the field and actually locate some of this and give them documentation to start digitizing it. And it does say here in the proposal 2 to 4 feet accuracy on just about anything. The ortho imagery that the county has for their plats and roads and everything, they already have it in process there and it's working, and we can use that to help make our program even better. So we can go in on their computer program. The price for them to come out here and do the field work, which should take 2 to 4 weeks or so, something like that, is $7,200. The third phase is the on-site GIS software training. Well, they will come in here and it said it'd probably take 3 full days on site here at City Hall and possibly 1 day in the field. And they will come in here and teach us how to put in our information for the future. Everything that we do, it will teach us how to, make sure that it's put in the program right. That fee is $4,300. We will also have to purchase a desktop basic edition. This is the program, the software and everything. It's $1,400. We will also have to purchase a Windows 10 laptop that will be used for this program. It's in the amount of $600. And then a GPS dongle, which is $75. The total cost of materials is $2,075. So the total project cost would be $22,775. And we're asking permission to move forward to this as the mayor and I went down and met with these people and witnessed what this can do.
Council, again, I was skeptical that we would think that this would be something that would be usable and spend the money and it not be what we're looking for. Since this dovetails so well with the county's mapping system, it's an absolute slam dunk, I believe, in order that we would be able to pull at a moment's notice an area, a grid or whatever we would be looking for in order for valves or whatever we would need at that particular time. More often than not, it would be valves because we'd be having a leak. Or in the future, a developer will want to know what we have in a certain area, and they'll actually be on the internet, so they'll have that capability. And this, to me, is not much money if you say it fast, but $22,000 is a lot of money. And I believe we would get the returns from this. And if it wouldn't tie in with the county system, I don't think I would be as interested. But going to Mr. Dobbs' office or the county office and having Mr. Dobbs make a presentation along with the gentlemen and ladies who made that presentation, Lonnie was right on. This is going to be a good project. A good program.
Damages we prevent will pay for itself.
Well, this is a perfect example. Next time a piece of equipment like came through with McCoy and Hinkle, we'd be able to let them look at our maps and so see next time where we got what we got instead of this, hearing that we're having a big project. Next thing I know, we've got big leaks, so, it'll move us forward, I believe, further than we can imagine.
And we will be allowed to pay for this after each stage. We don't have to pay it all at one time. When they finish phase one, we'll pay in two and so on.
Okay. And budget-wise, Lisa, what can you tell the council as far as purchasing this item?
Well, we didn't budget for this, but there are probably some projects we won't get to this year, replacing some of the lines, and were we going to do the shop renovations this year? We budgeted $30,000 for that.
Well, we're going to get into Burton Street barn and the fire department in just a few minutes. We might need, we'll talk about all that, but we feel like that we have the leverage with our budget for projects I don't feel comfortable that we'll get to this year, but we always plan. Then again, this project would be something that we finish the year out with. We would be, I think, well ahead of actually replacing some of those lines that we intended to replace or put in. But with that, would call for a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we purchase the GIS, GPS locating equipment along with the software and the GIS.
To a number of $22,775.
Yes, sir.
We'll come back to you if it runs more. Hopefully it won't. Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Lonnie, how long will this take from kind of beginning to end before, once we pull the trigger, how long will it take to get it done?
They didn't give us a date, but from all the literature I have, I'm probably looking at 6 weeks.
I thought they did indicate that they could be on it rather quickly.
I mean, they could come in and get started with phase one, but they're talking like, 3 to 4 weeks with the field work, and then 3 days for the training, 3 to 4 days.
Right.
So, if it takes 4 weeks for the field work, then the other part's probably a week or two. I mean, it's pretty fast. And one thing that I failed to mention is we will be charged like a $500 per year maintenance fee. And they'll be on call 24 hours a day for us if we need help.
But they did, it seemed like if we get,
Summer project.
they were ready for us as soon as we can
Right.
get council's approval.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Did we vote on it? All fair vote by show of hands? Thank you, Lonnie. Say it right there, we can keep going. Cove Road, what's going on with Cove Road, Lonnie?
Okay.
From you out.
Over the years, the county has discussed us taking over Cove Road from the bridge to the top of the mountain, up to the top of the S-curves. If you look in front of you, there's a copy on each end of the seating arrangement up there with a map of what we're talking about. The county, we have discussed it with them, the mayor's discussed it, and the county is moving forward. We're turning that part of the Cove Road and annexing it into the city. And if any of you know where Mr. Reese lives, we will go to just before we get his driveway. And,
Explain a little bit about the property and who owns the property on the right and left side of the road.
the city owns the property on the left, and they own some property on the right. We own the pump house. That's where we just put in the generator and the tanks. And then Mr. Copeland owns some land just above that. And Mr. Babcock owns some land on the right also, and he's wanting to do something with that. But he also would like for the city to annex Cove Road in and work with us on this. We're working with him now on making sure that the pump house is on the right amount of land. So, there's several things that we're doing with it. And the bridge, I've got in touch with Mr. Jeff Bridges with the State Bridge in Atlanta. He pulled a report and says there's no major deficiencies in the bridge. It does need undercoated, painted, and some very minor work done. There's possibly a grant to take care of part of that, or maybe even all of it, but if we annex it in, that would be another step to look at.
Okay, the bridge, we've never crossed the bridge. We got the city limit sign, set it on the west side, and we own the land on the left and the right going up the mountain, and we actually own the mountain because that's where the mines are. And yeah, I couldn't go to a meeting without the commissioner teasing the mayor about the bridge was in the city anyway. And my statement was, no, it's not. We haven't officially annexed it yet. And he said, well, you own land on both sides of the road. The state law says that it's in the city. And I said, well, if it's in the city and the road goes out, we're going to have the dangest cul-de-sac you've ever seen. So, but with that, of course, we want to get people over the Cove Road. But this road was built by the state years ago. It was not built by the county, but the road it was turned over to the county at that time. And I feel comfortable that there will be assistance to repair that bridge with the state. Not guaranteed, but it's a major piece of infrastructure, and it's on our property on both. We own all the land on all four corners. And so, but with that being said, it would give us access to our property, the Cove, the entrances into the Cove property that we have without having to ask the county. And that would be the greatest advantage of it. And it also allows us to maintain it with police and fire, which I know the police chief and the fire chief are not looking forward to that. But from time to time we have to stop traffic, and basically we're outside our jurisdiction, and this will allow us to do it within our jurisdiction. And it'd be a benefit if we have this because it is our water system on access all around it.
Is what we're annexing like belong to the county?
Pardon?
What we're annexing?
Well, the road is actually county road. Who did the survey, Lonnie?
That's the one that Roger Buckingham gave to me. I don't know.
It's Jim Bowling.
Bowling, Jason.
James Bowling.
So if we agree to annex that, do we have to have two readings for the annexation? Yeah. I haven't done anything so long.
Does this have to come from the
Well,
annexation?
we're going to notify them as if we're going to send them a letter doing it like we were initiating the annexation.
Gotcha.
And I spoke with the commissioners this morning, and he said all the commissioners were supportive of the annexation.
And the county attorney's already working on the paperwork.
Well, they were doing a bunch of surveying up there 6 months or so.
That might have been us
We were doing
with
some,
the
yeah.
whale.
And all the landowners, contiguous landowners agree with this?
Well, now, we did not talk to, there's one landowner that I went to Holly Springs to talk to and talk to them about some other issues up there. And I have not located them. I left them notice on their doors and everything to contact me. They have not done that yet. But Mr. Babcock, which is part of the Griffith estate, he is indicated he's for it. And then the only other people is the city of Jasper and Mr. Copeland.
Let me interrupt and say, Jim, we're doing this backward from how we've done it in the past. I mean, it's just usually someone comes and asks us. But what we'll do is we'll start this after tonight. The council approves this. We're going to move forward. It's going to go to public hearing. And we'll have to call the planning commission together to hear this and go through the same process, advertise in the paper, and come back before the council with the planning commission to ask the council to annex it. But we're starting here because it's the county.
We're just annexing the right of way.
We just need approval tonight to go move forward with the annexation.
Yeah, we're not approving.
We're not annexing.
We're not approving annexation.
Correct.
Or approving moving on.
Moving forward. Most complicated one I think I've seen in several years. Would entertain a motion.
Make a motion that City of Jasper move on with potential annexation of, I don't have
Cove Road for the land.
Cove Road property according to the map that has been distributed.
Okay. Have a motion. Is second? Motion is second. Discussion. Being none, all in favor, vote with show of hands. Thank you, Council. Now you give that to Sonny and let him go running with Bob. Okay. Thank you, Lonnie. Item E, and F, I guess, Burton Street barn repair and
Had a wind shear at the fire station that did structural and roof damage to the barn. Fire department roof itself is just an ongoing issue. That building's, we moved in 1990. There's about 6 or 8 layers of cool seal on it to stop leaks in the past, and we exceeded the limit of cool seal. So, the Burton barn, I said, there's a lot of tin missing. There's actually structural damage where the power mast pole was torn off. There's a door missing.
most of that is black neglect. I mean, it needs to be
The
repaired.
barn door is completely off now because it was falling off anyway and the wind has pushed it on over, but the mast pole and stuff like that was all new. And like I said, the fire department's just simply a re-roofing job. There's no structural damage that we know of.
And the structure damage to the Burton barn is your typical barn, the tins come off, you've got some lab that don't take long to rot if you don't repair it and replace it.
Right.
And we've let it go past, we repaired it about 4 years ago.
And it's old. It's
And
very
it's an
old.
old barn, but
The
it's
city
worth,
uses it for storage now.
And it's
Pretty
worth-
sure Jimmy Hopple maybe.
worth saving, isn't it? Okay, we can use it for hay storage or anything the city wants to store, and it needs to be cleaned out because it's been sitting there for a while. But we're trying to do this at the same time, and what Steve has done is put together a couple of quotes,
I've got 2 quotes on each repair right now.
and he can't give you the price tonight because we're going to get permission from you, hopefully when Steve works it. I told him I'd help you, I didn't mean to take over. But we're trying to get you to a point where we want permission from you to move forward with a bid, to see what kind of prices we can get.
I'm going to, Sonny's working with the builder right now to help me put something together so I can actually put a bid packet out and actually advertise. Because what I have is 2 quotes on each project that have been brought to me by people in that field. I have not opened it up to bids per se to advertise. So,
Trying to see what the estimates were going to be.
so
And it's within our budget confines that we have for both properties. But we can't give you this tonight because it'd probably get us out of sequence with the bid process.
It's more than what we can do without bidding then.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the maximum is on requiring a bid. I don't know. Is that what you're asking?
Lisa,
We
what's
wouldn't
our
have
limit?
to bid this out. It's not that much.
It's not that
We
much.
wouldn't have. to.
There's a certain limit,
But
over a certain limit that we have to bid.
But it sure looks bad if we don't do a bid process with this.
Don't mind a bit, bid.
I like the process.
It's awfully simple for us to get this thing in the paper and get these gentlemen who did the quotes, and Sonny's person will have an inside track. I know it's apples to apples and orange, but everyone will have an opportunity to come in and get the bid package. So just need a motion from you tonight to allow Mr. Roper to move forward with the advertising for both the Burton barn and the fire department. And the reason Steve's doing this is because he has to look at the Burton barn every day, and normally I'd have some other department doing it, but they were willing to do it for me.
I think I've actually got a roll of fire hose in it, so I do have something to do.
Would entertain a motion, council?
Yeah, needs to be done.
You making a motion to proceed on?
Propose to see them get the bids.
Okay, and it'll be probably next month, or maybe even later than before we come back to you.
Well, we need to advertise, I think, for at least.
Got a motion and a second to move forward with the bid process. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, Steve, and believe me, you did a good job bringing this, with me messing you up.
I'll get started back on it first thing in the morning.
Okay, item G, council, City Park. After our workshop, it was closed the next day. The city park was because of the dangers that were brought to our attention, and it just ages quickly. And what we did, we closed the park. We moved the train, and we're preparing to move in tomorrow with more forces to cut trees, to take any danger that we see out of the place. I believe we're going to be able to save the, for lack of a better term, the castle slide. but with some maintenance. But we may be looking at some more equipment that needs to be purchased, swing sets, things in that manner. Don't have any set prices, but I think between $10,000 and $15,000 for equipment, playground equipment might be necessary. Would like to have your permission to spend $10,000 to $15,000, whatever you feel fit, so that we can move forward and won't have to wait for another month so that we can move forward. Don't have that equipment picked out yet.
Where are we getting that from?
The equipment that we've got, we actually bought the trains that were taken out from a local, well, our former fire chief built it. But we actually bought the equipment from, David said the name of it. David Hall and I went and bought it, and I can't remember the name of the company, but Marietta off of 41.
He said it was.
Yeah, but we might not go there, but that's where we bought the last 2 or 3 equipment for the, what we'll do is go look for the best price retail that's out there that's already in stock that they would bring to us.
Where are we getting the budget? I'm sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Again, we'll be digging through the budget to find this, but either that or keep the park closed. I don't know which
We
one.
had
I know.
budgeted $8,000 for.
Park, we had $8,000.
We had $8,000 in there for major repairs for equipment in the park.
Which you could be looking, we want to paint the bridges. We want to also possibly be able to open up the park again. We're going to look at trying to open the park that you can drive all the way around behind the waterfall, landscape that area, which we pulled off before we did that, and repair all the decks, paint the decks. Mainly, that'd be mainly labor, but it's amazing how purchase orders build up when you start trying to repair a park.
Well, we also got all the road work going, we've got the small paving machine.
Well, we're going to be able to pave the trail with it, and that's why we've got it. And but around the whole thing, I'd probably let that in the contract when they get here with the paving, that they would be able to pave the big road, because it'd be a big road.
Shipping the asphalt when we got it.
Yeah. But that would be all the options, but we can't keep this park closed long because people start wanting it bad, and they're used to it.
Well, it's got a lot of use.
We can go look at the little playground, and these wooden steps that go up have a V worn out in it for the children that use the sand to go up. I'm sure that's part of the abrasiveness, but there's a lot of steps up and down those steps for those slides. But we got 8,000, but I feel like 8,000 probably won't be enough. These playgrounds are pretty expensive.
Could you move on with the $8,000 budget and then come to us later with how much more you're going to need and what you're going to do?
Possibly, but if you'll give me the 15,000, I might be able to get the project done before the next council meeting. If I go over my 8,000, I'll have to stop. Which I'm pretty sure we're going to make going through 8,000 pretty fast.
Low springtime, so we've got to get it done because this park gets wore out in the springtime.
Matter of fact, we probably be going south tomorrow or online looking for prices for
We've
it.
got an idea on it later.
Pardon?
We've got a different idea, it might be able to work out good later.
You can.
Do a little research.
But if we don't need the money, we won't use the money. But I'd like to have that moving forward.
Well, I'll make a motion that we use $15,000 for repair of the city park.
Okay. Got a motion to spend up to $15,000 for repair of the city park.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? Be it none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Thank you, council. We'll move forward with that. Budget amendment, Ms. Hoyle.
You should have a copy in your book of a proposed budget amendment, and this is for 2016. It's a cleanup of year-end, after all the adjustments are made, after everything's booked. We did not go over budget overall, But at the departmental level, and I'll start with general fund, we had a few departments go over, and I highlighted the ones that went over. The street department's highlighted, and that's where I'm pulling it from. We had over budgeted in the street department, and that was due to some people being moved around, salaries moved to other departments, and also I had budgeted the LMIG money, the DOT money, 50-something, 55,000 or so in that department, and we ended up posting it to the SPLOST fund. But legislative department, that was due to y'all voting in that liability umbrella policy last year, that threw it over. The election department's $200, we had to advertise that special call election. Parks administration, that was due to the purchase of the land and building on East Spring Street that we're gonna renovate and use for wrestling. And protective inspection, we just had more salaries in that department than we budgeted for. But overall, the overall total expenditures for the general fund did not change. It's just reallocated between departments. And since the way our policies or ordinances are written, we have to get this fixed before we can file the financial statements with the state. I also amended the hotel motel tax because we actually collected more than I thought we would. So we spent more than I thought we would. 2014 SPLOST is also an amendment because we had monies left over from the prior year. So it was like a use of prior year fund balance in 2016. So that's why I amended that fund. And I just gave you totals. If you want the detail, I can send it to you. So it's pretty thick.
Okay, so you need this approved?
I need this approved, so next month the auditors will be here and presenting the audit report, and I wanted this approved before they came to present the audit report.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the 2016 operating budget amendment as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion.
Something we gotta do. This is a housekeeping thing that is required of fund accounting, that we actually adopt a budget that matches what we did during the 2016 fiscal year, budget year, I guess would be correct.
Next year we'll be talking about a park expenditure.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
No, thank you, Lisa.
Being none, all in favor, vote with show of hands. Thank you, council. Thank you, Lisa. I've got a text message today. Mr. Nechvatal is not going to be here. Financial report, Lisa, we're right back on you.
In your packet, you should have the financial report for the first third of the year through April. I'll go over a few highlights with you. In the general fund, Fund 100, we collected $93,583 in sales tax, which is a pretty good month. For the whole year, we've collected $368,912 year to date, and that's compared to $343,000 in the prior year. Not much activity in the tax surcharge fund, not much activity in the, no activity in the confiscated assets fund, hotel and motel tax fund. We just paid out our first quarter payment to the chamber. We're caught up there. SPLOST fund, we collected $72,827. Our current balance in that cash account in the SPLOST fund is $689,447, and that does include the DOT LMIG money of $72,000 that we collected in February. Water fund, we're right on budget there. A little under budget in the revenues, and that's partially because, well, mostly because we haven't collected the grant monies that I budgeted for.
That's the grant money for the generators.
The emergency generators.
Okay.
Sorry. And that's about all I had.
How will we collect those, Lisa?
It's a reimbursement. I've got, I don't know if it's the final bill, but it's getting pretty close. And I'm gonna, when we pay that and we get all our cleared checks back, I can ask for reimbursement. The last one took about 2 weeks to get back, so,
I was just curious.
yeah.
Questions, council? Thank you, Lisa. Item C, animal control, Lonnie. And any other thing you might want to mention next to animal control. Oh, before you do, I just want to cover this under your budget. Tell the council a little bit about our sale, Saturday.
We sold everything.
Yay!
And I'll go on, vehicles, we collected 28,100. Equipment, we sold 38,425 for a total gross of 66,525. They took commissions of $1,921.25, which left us with 64,603.75.
That's a lot more than what we thought it was.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they loved our stuff.
You got any more to say?
Yeah, we have to clean. All of a sudden, you don't start nothing.
Well, a lot of this stuff we did buy from surplus years ago, we didn't have as much in a lot of it as we did back
Oh,
in
yeah.
the old days. Thank you, Lisa.
One thing on that, that's unbudgeted revenue, right? Okay,
So we can,
remember that.
how many times will we spend between?
It's like a gazebo, we'll spend it a number of times.
Now, Lonnie, thank
I
you.
did lots of it tonight.
Okay, Mayor and Council, gave you a list. Had 10 animal calls. You'll notice sometimes that we've had 2 or 3 that worked for the county this last month. At this time, they don't have an animal control officer. We've always helped them in order to use their facility. And so whenever they call me, I do try to go out and help them. So that's part of that. I've had several phone calls about the injured ducks at the duck pond. The ones that I have been able to catch, they have been looked at and they're doing well. So.
And since you mentioned ducks, part of our revamping the park will be to relocate those ducks.
Yes, and I already have people with ponds that are asking for them. So,
It's hard to do when there's people, catch these people are there, so
Right.
this gives us a great opportunity. Is that all?
One other thing, we never did complete the notice to terminate our project at Cove Creek due to the fact that the EPD wanted all the land, the dirt covered with grass. I've been notified today by the inspector for this group that he is satisfied with it, so I will be getting in touch with turnip seed engineers tomorrow and telling them to file the notice to terminate, and once that's finished, it'll be a finished product.
Did they come and inspect it?
They've been working on another issue up on Cove Road, and they stopped by there and looked at it. And they said that they were satisfied with the way it looked, everything was done properly, they were very happy with it, and for us to go ahead and file the notice to terminate the project.
Council, we tried to do that once we finished the project, and then we were notified by them that they wanted to see grass growing before they would, and so we had to wait for the grass to grow, and I thought we might have still to add some more, but we actually went in and took some of the topsoil that we used for the flower beds uptown out of that particular location. So we do have a pit now at the upper side of the, what we took out of the creek, the topsoil. But anyway, hopefully they didn't see that. Maybe if they watch this show, they'll know that now. But anyway, good job, Lonnie. Police report, Chief Lovell.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jasper Police Department for the month of April 2017 responded to 887 calls for service in the 911 center. Responded to 66 motor vehicle accidents, Issued a total of 61 citations for following: 38 for speeding, 2 seatbelts, 2 child restraints, 2 shoplifting, 1 uninsured motorist, 13 miscellaneous, and 3 suspended or revoked. Georgia State Patrol issued a total of 52 citations for grand total in city court, 113. Took a total of 22 state warrants, 11 counts of theft by taking misdemeanor, 3 violation of Georgia Controlled Substance methamphetamine felony, 1 violation of Georgia Controlled Substance methadone felony, 1 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 1 expired tag, 1 open container, 1 simple assault, 2 shoplifting misdemeanor, 1 false report of crime. Miscellaneous calls answered were 40 alarm calls, 14 disorderly, 9 harassment calls, 14 trespassing or loitering, 96 suspicious activity, and 23 domestics, and investigated 1 burglary. A lot quieter this month than last month.
Questions, council? Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief Roper. Chief Roper again.
Good evening again. This won't take as long nor be as painful. For the month of April, we responded to 144 emergencies. Those were 1 structure fire inside the city, 1 outside, 1 vehicle fire inside, 1 outside the city, 1 grass fire in, 5 outside, 10 motor vehicle accidents with injuries inside, 5 outside, 50 emergency medical responses in, 43 out, 15 other calls inside, 11 outside. Those numbers are up a little because of the couple of various storms that blew through. Fire inspection looked at 2 sets of plans for construction and conducted 14 inspections.
Again, inside means inside the city, outside the city, corporate limits. And we think people might know that, but if someone's just tuning in, they probably go, what in the world?
I'm so used to it, I always forget to explain it.
Just from time to time, you don't have to do it every time, we'll expect people to learn. Any questions, Councilman?
Steve, the burn permits, they're done and over with the year?
Yes, May 1st today was the first day of the statewide thing.
Now, that's just Pickens County South, it's, our neighbors to the north still can do this, if they're not doing it.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah.
I'm just kind of curious. Okay, thanks, Steve. John, a little update on JYSA activities, please?
Did you go to the internet, football and cheerleading getting kicked in? Did you go on about getting signed up for early registration, get ready? I mean, it's still just chugging
You
along.
mean fall's coming again?
Yeah. Well, you gotta start working for, basketball and all during football, or baseball season, baseball for football and football.
Tell the council and the public a little bit about our baseball program and how it's geared today.
Well, I don't know if you noticed the fields, but JYSA invested back into the city since the city's been so proud to invest into it. They spent a ton of money on both the infields. It can rain now, in 15 minutes it's dry, ready to play on.
The fields are tremendous. They're level.
They were level, they laser level. I mean, it's really looking good. I don't know if you noticed something a little different. That ain't little boys down on that lower field. That's girls playing. We got some fast pitch softball going on down there. So I mean, it's just
And tell a little bit about the travel squads.
well, they got 2 travel squads this year. We're going to see how it works. We got a lot of our kids that want to try to take it to the next level and traveling to Canton, to Woodstock, over to Dalton. I'd like to see our kids do it here if it's possible. So that's what we're trying to give them opportunity for.
Thanks, John.
A lot of folks have come to me saying that our facilities here are as good or better than the ones, some of the travel teams. And I think that might be an opportunity to get people to come into our city and
Oh
county.
yeah, it's a big thing. I don't know if you've ever seen a fast pitch softball tournament. It brings a lot of people in, and so does the baseball tournaments. And what we're doing.
Thank you, John. Any other questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, council. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you, Mr. Pitts.